You will never be able to sell until you understand this one thing. See, most people think selling is about being persuasive or having a perfectly crafted pitch or pushing a product. But that mindset is exactly what's killing your sales. In this episode, I'm breaking down what actually makes people buy and why so many entrepreneurs keep missing it. So if you've ever struggled to sell your offer, this might be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Let's jump in. You know, it's crazy to me that I'm even talking to you about selling today, because selling was one of the things I loathed the most and thought I would never be good at. In fact, my first job out of college was a sales position, selling radio advertising for Clear Channel Radio. Specifically, I was in Harrisonburg, Virginia at Country KCY and 98 Rock, and I was a month or two after the letting go of a dream, my dream of being a rock star that had died. And I've shared this story before, but if you don't know my story, I've been a musician my whole life, and I was working all the way up through college to get a record deal. I'd made an album, we had a producer, we had it shopped around a bunch of labels. I was engaged to be married to Shay at the time, and I wanted to land a record deal before we got married, so I'd have some advance money so I could provide for her and we could start this life together, hoping I could see how far this music journey would last. And when all the doors were closing, I came to the realization that I have to look to plan B, and there was no plan B. Plan A was the only plan there was. It was get a record deal. I didn't know if I'd be famous. I didn't know how much money I'd make, but I figured I'd at least get a deal, a first deal, and I would be able to try it for a year or two or three. It never once crossed my mind that I wouldn't get a record deal. So when I didn't get a record deal, I had no backup. I didn't go to college with the purpose of getting a degree that would make me money. I went to college because my parents made me. And so I got an audio engineering degree so I could play in recording studios all day while I made my album and got signed. So I didn't have a great plan. So now I'm scrambling to find a job, and lo and behold, the only job I could find fresh out of college that I qualified for was a sales position, which you didn't even need a college degree for. All my colleagues never went to college, and they were crushing it. And they trained me, and I liked, music and the radio. I was like, okay, it's cool. I get to work at the radio station. It seemed easy. And they told me to basically smile and dial or walk into local brick and mortar stores, Tractor Supply stores, restaurants, insurance agents in town, and walk them through this pitch. We are actually already pre-created a commercial for them, which was pretty cool, like an ideal commercial, so we could pitch them why they should advertise with us on the radio, and then press play on this cassette player. I had to carry a little boom box around with a cassette tape and press play, and they could hear our professional DJs doing the voiceover work of their business, so they could hear a sample of their potential ad, which was kind of brilliant. Let them see themselves in the product. And I was like, okay, I'll just get people to sign up for ad spots. And I sucked at it. And not only did I suck at it, I hated it. I'm an introvert by nature. I don't like going up to total strangers. I certainly don't like asking total strangers for money. I was 22 in an oversized button-down shirt with a goofy tie and unpolished loafers. I looked like I didn't fit the part because I didn't. I was supposed to be a musician, and I just wanted to be making records and music videos. And so I spent 5 miserable months trying to make money. And they explained to me when I took the job, like, hey, it's a commission job, but we'll give you a draw on a base salary. And it was $2,500 a month. And they're like, that's going to be your base. And then you'll get commissions. And then, as you start to make more commissions, we're going to reduce your draw or your base salary. So eventually that goes down to zero, and then you're just getting paid on commissions, but at least there'll be some transition. I said, okay, well, that seems reasonable. But then every single month I wasn't making a single sale. And my boss would call me into her office and she would say, Graham, how can I help you make more sales? I'm like, I don't know. Okay, then do a ride along with so-and-so, do a ride along with so-and-so. And so I would go to meetings, and all the while I wanted to poke my eyeballs out. And this is how I think most people feel about selling, is they feel like they're not good at it. They're not making a lot of sales. They don't like to ask people for money. They get nervous when they get to the pitch. Let's say you've done a webinar or a challenge or You're on a sales call with somebody and you get to the part where you have to actually name the price or ask for money. Like that's where most of my students and clients clam up. Like they like the idea of a webinar because they get to teach, they get to share, they get to give. Well, that feels good to give. And then when they get to that awkward part of, this is the part of the webinar where I say I have something for sale, and they just freeze up and they dread it and they get nervous. They want to go from teaching to please give me a script so I can just read it because I can't think clearly. So I don't know if you can identify with any of this stuff, but this is how most people who haven't experienced the breakthrough I'm about to share with you today feel about sales. There's very few of us that are born to sell, and some of us that they just never had any problem with that. And if that's you, you're probably not watching this video or listening to this episode because you're not struggling with selling. But if you're struggling with selling your own products, your own offers, your services, this is for you, because I've gone from that 5 months of, by the way, I had to quit after 5 months because I never made a single sale. Correction, I made one sale, $300, and then they changed their mind. And they didn't want to go through with it. I never got her to sign it. So I made 0 sales in 5 months, and I quit because I hated my life and I was embarrassed. It just wasn't a good fit. Fast forward now with my own business, like I've sold over $15 million over the last few years, which is insane to think about. I never thought I'd be good at sales. I always laugh that I'm basically in sales, and I never thought I'd get back in sales. But a lot's changed, right? A lot has changed. And so what I want to do is share with you the one big shift you have to understand mentally to become great at sales. And so this is probably the reason why you're not great at sales right now, or not selling the amount that you want to see. And then I want to share with you the 5 secrets to selling. You ready for it? This will be straightforward, and I think this is going to be helpful for you today. Here's the one thing. You will only be great at selling when you decide to stop hating it. You will only be great at selling when you decide to stop hating it, stop being afraid of it, and learn to love it. The reason you're not good at it is because you hate it. How many things can you think of in your life that you hate doing that you're really good at? I can't think of a single one. Okay? How many things can you think of in your life that you're so afraid of doing that you're really good at? There might be a few more of those. There's certainly things that people do that they're afraid to do, but they're actually pretty good at it, right? The things you're really good at are generally the things you love to do. And they play together. The better you get at something, the more you love it. The more you love it, the better you get at something. Mastery comes from loving the thing, and loving the thing comes from mastery. They feed off of each other. It's a beautiful, virtuous cycle. Okay, Graham, that's great. What do I do with that? Well, first of all, let's just be honest. Are you afraid of selling? Do you hate selling? If you've answered yes to either of those questions, then there you go. That's the reason why you're not successful at it. So now we at least know what the problem is. Would you like me to help you solve that problem? Would you like me to help you learn to love selling today and actually be more effective at it, which will help you love it even more, which will help you be more effective at it even more? Yes? Okay, good. I thought you'd never ask. I just want to get right to the point today. Write these things down. 5 secrets to selling. We could go real deep on any one of these, but I'm going to give you what I think are the 5 biggest things, and I think this is going to really help you today. So number 1, and this changes the game, is only sell something you believe in. Only, please, for the love, only sell something you believe in. The reason I hated selling in my first job at Clear Channel is because I didn't believe in radio advertising. Like, who listens to the radio? Like, my grandma? Like, who buys something because they heard an ad on the radio? I don't know, maybe somebody. I'm sure it works somewhat, but I don't buy things based off of what I hear on the radio. I don't even listen to the radio anymore, but even back then, in 2005, right? Even back then, I didn't really listen to when the ads would come on the radio, I would just turn it down until the music came back on. So how am I going to convince a business owner to pay me or pay my employer for something that I don't even think they should pay for? Pretty hard to sell something you don't believe in, right? So there's 2 applications here. Number 1, are you trying to sell something you don't believe in? Do you believe in your own product? Do you believe in your own service? If you don't, you either need to A, stop selling that product or service, or B, learn to believe in it or make it better so that you do believe in it. Is this making sense? So if you're having a hard time selling a coaching program or a course or training, and you don't really even believe in it, like maybe you shouldn't be selling that. Like I've had courses that I tried to sell that didn't sell well. And then when I looked at them, I'm like, it's not even that helpful. So no wonder I'm not selling it. And even if I could sell it, I wouldn't feel great about it because I don't believe in it. So I'm going to take it off the market. I've literally taken stuff off the market, even though I've sold some of them before. Not that it was immoral or unethical or harmful. It just wasn't great. Only sell something that's great. So only make stuff that's great. And I'm going to assume that you do make stuff that's great. So if you do make something that's great, well, then this should shift in your heart because look, you believe in this thing, don't you? You've worked hard on it. And not just that you've worked hard on it, and that's why you believe in it. You believe in it because you believe it will actually help somebody. And I'm assuming that's the majority of people listening to this. You have something that you believe is truly transformational for people. If so, then you don't need to be afraid of it because you know this is the best thing for somebody. Only sell something you believe in. When you're in business for yourself, that's the beauty is you get to only build stuff that you believe in. So you're never selling something you don't believe in. This is huge, but simple. It goes straight into number 2 though, right? So if we're selling something we believe in, then you got to understand that selling is serving. That's all selling is. Selling is serving. What do I mean? When you are selling, you are serving something that they already want to buy. You're not convincing them to buy something they don't want to buy. I think a lot of us think selling is convincing someone to buy something they don't want to buy. Like when these guys come to my house trying to sell me solar. And no offense if you ever sold solar. I got friends that sell solar. Please stop coming to my house. I don't want your solar panels, right? These guys, they drive around in my neighborhood on these little Segways or these little hoverboards with their little clipboards. And they keep coming by. Sir, how much money would you like to save on your electric bill? I don't want solar. So that's what I think we feel like selling is. But selling is not convincing. That's what some people are doing, but that's not how you're going to make a lot of money. It's really hard to convince someone to buy something they don't want to buy when they're not in the mood to buy it. It's a lot easier to serve somebody something that they've already wanted to buy. This is why I use the waiter analogy at a restaurant. When I go to a restaurant, or when you go, let's think about you. You go to a restaurant. It's your anniversary. You go to a nice restaurant with your significant other. You sit down, a server comes, and what do? They offer you a bunch of things that cost money. Are they nervous? Are they stressed out to ask you to buy something? Are you offended when they bring you a menu that has just literally a bunch of products with dollar signs next to them? No, because literally you came there to buy something. That's what you want. You want food. You want an experience. You want your belly to be full. You want a great glass of wine. You want a great conversation with the person you love or your friend or your family. You came in ready to spend money. So then the server doesn't have to sell you hard on anything. All they have to do is just serve you what you already wanted. And the best servers always use the 3 magical words. Would you like? Mr. Cochran, great to see you. Would you like a cocktail tonight while you're looking at the menu? Yes, I would. Mr. Cochran, would you like another cocktail? Maybe. No, I'm good for now. Would you like to see the dessert menu? Would you like some appetizers to start? Would you like a refill? Would you like 3 magic words? They're not selling. They're not convincing. They're twisting my arm. They're literally just putting an offer in front of me to a very warm audience, someone that's walked in that wants to spend money, and they're just serving me. That's all we're doing is serving. When you realize that selling is service, and number 1, you're only serving something you believe in, selling becomes very easy. Does this make sense? Somebody just got set free today. Selling is serving them something they already want to buy, not convincing them. All right, number 3, sell the payoff, not the product. Sell the payoff, not the product. This would also include sell the payoff, not the pieces of your product. It comes with a workbook with 75 pages or 37 HD videos or 2 group coaching calls a month, or those are the pieces. Don't sell the pieces. They don't care about the pieces. They don't care about the product. Don't sell the process. We go through my 21-step, $1 million whatever process. They don't care about your process that much. They want to know that you have one, but they don't care about it that much. And you're not selling the person, which is yourself. I'm super credible. I'm a USA Today bestselling author. I've done this. I have this degree. I have this coaching certification. I went to this school. Don't focus on those things. We focus on those things because, well, for 2 reasons. one, we think people care about the pieces, the process, the person, the product itself. They don't care. They care about the payoff that they get when they buy your thing. What is it going to help me do? What problem is it going to help me solve? So we focus on those things because we think that's what people care about, but a lot of times we focus on those things because we are insecure about what the payoff is that they get. So we focus on the things that make us feel secure that we're adding a lot of value. I'm going to throw in a bunch of calls. I'm going to give you a bunch of videos. I'm going to give you all these workbooks. I'm going to give you. We're going to go through this process, and I'm really credible. Take a deep breath. And here's what you got to do. This might be the most important thing you do. Ask yourself, what is, in one sentence, the payoff my customer is going to get if they buy this thing? What's the payoff? What's the transformation that happens? What's the problem that it solves, right? Eileen Wilder calls it showing them hell and then showing them heaven. Hell is where they are. You buy my offer, you're going to be in heaven. So if it's a weight loss offer, hell is I'm overweight, I'm unhappy with the way I look in a bathing suit, I'm unhealthy, I can't play with my grandkids without getting winded, whatever it is. Heaven is I look great naked, or I look great in a bathing suit, or I'm confident. People are like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. What are you doing to like just that? That's what they're buying. They're buying the payoff. They don't care if it's DVDs or videos or a weekend or a magical pill. Like they don't really care what it is they get to get the payoff. They just want the payoff. So in your sales presentations, on your sales pages, in a webinar, on just a casual conversation with somebody on the airplane that might be interested in working with you, you just talk more about the payoff. I heard Myron Golden say, spend 95% of the sales presentation talking about the payoff, and then 5% of it talking about all the other stuff, what they get. You know how it works. Either way, like it shows the emphasis is on the payoff. This will change the game for you. This will change the game for you. So like, for example, years ago, I had a community, my six-figure coaching community. I named it the Payoff. It's going to help you get to six figures in your business. And when I sold it, I basically sold it as join this community and we're going to get your business up to six figures. Like the pieces, you get this, we do it this way. That was mentioned a little bit, but it was very clear. Like, if you're not at six figures, that's your hell. Like, you started your business and you're stuck at 20K or 50K a year, or you're stuck at, $3,000 a month or $2,000 a month. Join this program. I'm going to get you $10,000 a month. I mean, that was the promise of that program. And that's all I focused on doing for 4 years. I helped hundreds of people do it. Okay. So focus on the payoff. When you sell the payoff, two things happen. One, you get confident because you're like, this is the results I help people get. And so if you're unsure about what the payoff is for your offers, well, just think about what kind of results can you get for people? What kind of results have you gotten for people? Think about your best testimonial. Think about the results you've gotten for yourself if you're newer, right? And then once you think about that, then you make the best results you've gotten for people or the best results you've gotten for yourself, you make that the payoff of the thing you're selling. You're like, if you buy this thing and you do the things I tell you to do and you're willing to put in the work, these are the results you can probably get. That's what I'm selling you, is the payoff. That changes the game. And that's what gets people to convert, because it makes you confident. So you're going to come across as more confident. And number two, it's all they want. They just want the payoff. So stop talking about everything else and talk to them about the payoff more than anything. That's really what you're selling. Does this make sense? So a couple things. It's interesting. It's very easy for me to talk about this because I'm in the money-making space right now. So I'm going to give you an example of that. I already gave you one, like I'll help you get to six figures. And I'm giving you an example if you're not in the money-making space, because that's where I started. I started in the non-money-making space. So in the money-making space, I realized early on that I was undercharging. And even now, like I've increased my prices to my one-on-one coaching, like my VIP days. Like I've changed my one-on-one coaching now. If you want to work with me directly, it's a VIP day. It's $250,000. Why is it $200? That sounds crazy. Why is it $250,000? Because I can help you make over $1 million a year. We can spend one day together. We can do it. Literally engineer your $1 million leap in one day. So you put in $250,000 to me and get out $1 million every year minimum. Like, this is a no-brainer. And I figured this out when I was literally talking to one of my past clients. Her name's Hope. And she worked with me and came and did a VIP day years ago. Actually did like, it wasn't even a full VIP day just with her. It was like two of her friends. Like I was working with the three of these ladies together. They all had their own businesses, but they were best friends and they wanted me to coach them. So I was coaching them and I was charging them $1,000 a month each to do a sort of a mini mastermind just with these three ladies. So I was getting paid $3,000 a month, but they were each only paying me $1,000 a month for a year. So they each paid me $12K. And then I included a VIP day. I think I charged them additionally for that because they wanted to come and do something in person. So I charged them $2,000 each for this VIP day on top of the $12,000. So let's say at max, they each paid me $14,000. So Hope paid me $14,000. That one day, I didn't even spend the whole day with her because I was bouncing around with the three of them. That one day, I helped her craft her first high ticket offer. We crafted a high level group coaching offer, a mastermind offer. And she'd never sold anything this high. I think it was an $8,000 offer. And it was just like, she hadn't done anything like that. She's like, I don't even know how to charge that. I don't know how to like pitch that. I don't know what to deliver. I don't know how to sell it, whatever. We mapped out this one offer in less than a day that, again, she paid me $2,000 for that day, really, but let's say $14,000. I was talking to her just yesterday because I was updating testimonials and stuff. She went on to make over $500,000 with that offer over the next couple of years. And so I'm thinking, she gave me $14,000 and then turned it into $500,000. That was just off of one idea from that one day. That wasn't even including the stuff we worked on all year long. So really, it's like she put in $2,000 and got $500,000. I'm like, bro, I'm way undercharging here. I mean, that was a long time ago, and I've since increased my prices since then, and I've increased them again now. So now it's $250,000 if you want to work with me for the VIP day. So it's obvious because you put in a certain amount of money, I can give you a multiple of that. If I can 2x, 5x, or 10x your money, then that's an incredible payoff. So if you're in a money-making space, or you can easily tie your offer back into money making or money saving, then you just look at, could I get them 2 times, 5 times, or 10 times what they're paying for this? So if you could help somebody make $100,000, you can charge at least $10,000 for that offer, upwards of $50,000. You see how we arrived at that? It's not based off of what you think it should cost. It's based off of the payoff, because all that matters is the payoff. We're selling the payoff. Now, if you're not in the money-making space, because I didn't start in the money-making space. I started in the music space. That is the most unmoney-making space there is, okay? So in the music space, I was selling $150 courses, and then eventually my bestseller became this bundle. I was selling a $397 system. I called it my Radio Ready system, and it was all of my best courses at a steep discount. So imagine a $400 offer, which really scaled the business. And so we were doing like $1.2 million a year at its peak in that business. And the main offer was this $400 one-time offer, which I thought was crazy expensive for back then. And it's crazy expensive. No one else in my industry was charging that much in the music space. So what I would do is I would say, well, okay, what is the result that this offer gives them? The result is they make professional sounding music that they can brag about. Their fans are amazed at, their family's amazed at. It's like what everybody wants. They want to feel confident and they want to put their music out there in the world and make it sound professional. Okay, that's the payoff they get, professional sounding music. What are the other ways that they could try to get professional sounding music? What are the other ways that they do try? The other avenues, because we all want the same result in that space, make my music, my recording sound professional. So what are the alternatives? Well, the most expensive alternative, well, I won't even start there. Here's what a lot of these guys and gals would do. They would spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on equipment, more expensive professional equipment, better microphones, better audio interfaces, better speakers, better treatment in their home studio. So easily they would spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on equipment between microphones and speakers, thinking that's going to get them better sounding results. And then the sad news is it doesn't, because they realize it doesn't matter how good your equipment is. If I don't know the art and craft of it, I won't get it. So I would compare it to at least, $1,200 microphone. You could spend $1,200 on a microphone, or just and it doesn't guarantee you get any better, and it won't make you any better because you still don't know how to do the thing. Or you could spend a third of that, $400, and be able to get professional sounding recordings with the microphones you already have. So I'd anchor it to a $1,200 microphone. Then I would anchor it to going into a professional recording studio and spending, I don't know how much per hour, and like how many hours is it going to take to do one song. So maybe you've spent $3,000 to get one song halfway decently recorded. Okay, $400 is literally like almost a tenth of that. But then the number one thing I would anchor it to is the other way you learn how to do this, and that was going to audio school. And so I would anchor it to going to Full Sail or any of these big audio schools that are going to charge $20,000 a year, even for a 2-year program. So $40,000 to learn how to make professional sounding recordings when you could spend 1% of that, for $400, and learn the same thing. Done. So I would anchor it to how much it would cost for their alternatives would cost. In my group coaching program that I'm working with a bunch of high-level entrepreneurs right now in my inner circle, one of the guys helps men, high-performing men, so CEOs, business owners, improve their marriages, their health, and their fitness. So yeah, their fitness, their health, and then their happiness. So it's like relationships, their fitness, and their mindset, right? And he's got a group coaching program. Basically, I want to say he was charging $3,000. And I was like, why isn't this a $10,000 offer to be in your high level group? He's like, oh, I don't know. That's a lot of money. I'm like, compared to what? And he's not helping them make more money. He's helping their marriages improve and their health and their fitness. Like, well, let's just take one of the 3 things you teach in that group. Their marriage. Their marriages are falling apart, right? Because they're overworking, they're high level guys. Like, these are the kind of guys he helps. Their wives want to leave them or whatever. And I was like, how much does a divorce cost? Right? And the joke is at least half, at least half of whatever you own, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you can save them a divorce, 10 grand is easy. 10 grand is cheap, right? Then that's just one. Then what's their health costing them? What's it going to cost them when they're on medications, when they have to get heart surgery, when all these other things, like what's that going to cost them in the future, right? And then their happiness, like what else are you spending money on to like numb the pain, right? So I'm like, bro, when you compare, everything is a cost. It's a cost if they don't buy, and it's a cost if they buy. The question is just which costs more? And the answer is clear. It costs more to them if they don't buy your $10,000 coaching offer, because they're going to end up in divorce. They're going to end up in surgery or being on a ton of medications, and they're going to end up like self-medicating with stuff to numb the pain, spending money, buying a stupid car, wasting it at the casino. Whatever these guys do, that's going to cost way more than $10,000. And so that's how you position the offer, right? Is this making sense? So you sell the payoff. This is what you get, and here's the value of that payoff compared to what it's going to cost you if you don't buy my offer. So sell the payoff, not the product, not the pieces, not the process, not the person. People just want the payoff. Number 4, we're almost done. People buy certainty. This is huge, right? So one of the ways to sell more is to make your prospect feel more certain that you can deliver the payoff that we just talked about. So you emphasize the payoff. This is what you're getting when you buy this offer, is this payoff, this outcome, right? And they might go, great, that's what I want. But now they're skeptical, right? How do I know you're going to help me get this payoff? Give them some certainty. And one of the best ways to give people certainty is just to simply show them that you 2 things. One, that you've done it before in other people. This is where testimonials come in, right? So if I tell you I can help you make $500,000 extra this year, okay, then that's great. I would like an extra $500,000 in my business this year. Okay. I want to give you some certainty. Well, here's one of my previous clients, Hope. We sat down. I just gave her one idea, and she generated $500,000 off of this one idea. And if I have her picture and her saying it, like, Graham helped me generate $500,000 with this one. Well, now they feel a little more certain because they see a testimonial. This is why testimonials are so powerful. And if you don't have any yet, then go out and serve some clients for free in exchange for valuable testimonials. Go get them the results and then get their permission to share those results on your sales page, right? So testimonials are one way to create certainty. and you only need a handful of them. And then number two, showing people that you have a path to get there. Now, you don't have to go like really nerdy into your specific process, but think about what are the 3 to 4 big ideas, or 3 to 4 things. If they work with you, if they go through your course, if they join your program, what are the 3 to 4 things that you're going to help them do that's going to get them the payoff? So for example, like if I'm selling you my VIP day and it's $250,000, and I'm saying I'm going to help you take your business to $1 million to multi-millions a year, okay? It's a great payoff. It's worth it. If you just look at, you put in 250 and you get, $1 million back or $2 million a year back, like perpetually, right? So we're talking about millions of dollars off of 250, but they're like, I'm a little uncertain. How's Graham going to do this? And then I show you some testimonials of how I've done this for other people, how I've done it for myself. But then here's what I do. I say, well, when you enroll in the VIP day, or if you qualify for the VIP day and we work together, basically here's what we're going to do on that day. First, we're going to look at your offer stack, and we're going to optimize your offers so that they convert more easily at higher prices. Then we're going to look at your lead generation, and I'm going to show you ways to explode how many leads are coming into your business every month. Because just think about it. If you could double the amount of leads you're getting, you're going to double your business overnight at your current level. So let's double your leads, and let's double your conversions, or the amount of money you get paid at conversion, by optimizing your offers. So we're going to optimize your offers. We're going to look at try to 2x your lead gen. Then we're going to look at lifetime value. We're going to create a whole system of other offers and a whole ladder for your people once they've bought something, how you can sell them more and more and more and be able to spend more money with you. So we're going to do that through ascension and retention, right? So we're going to get people to ascend, to buy more and more expensive things from you. And then we're going to get people to keep coming back and spending money with you every single month through recurring revenue and continuity programs. So we're going to look at that. So that's 3 things. And then number 4, here's one of the big things I help people do. I don't just help people make money. Like if you come do a VIP day with me, I help you cut your work hours in half. That's a huge thing, right? So if we could 2x, 5x, or 10x your revenue in your business and cut your work hours in half, that's the payoff I offer. Let's 2x, 5x, or 10x your revenue and cut your work hours in half. Get you sub 20 hours a week, okay? And so what we do is then we do a full audit of your schedule, your activities, what you do in the business, and we'll help you design a dream week where you're cutting your work hours in half and loving everything you do. And so I'm sharing with them the 3 to 4, in that case, these are the 4 main things I help my clients do. I'm sharing at a high level, this is what we're going to do, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And by the time we do that, we're going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. This raises the level of certainty because you're not just talking about, I can get you this payoff. You're showing them at a high level the journey to that payoff, which shows them, oh, he's been on this journey before and he's helped me do it, right? Does this make sense? If you wanted to get to the top of Mount Everest and I was selling my Mount Everest Summit Guide services, I could tell you, I wouldn't sell you, here's the boots we're going to wear. Here's the oxygen tanks we're going to use. Here's the kind of food we bring. They don't care about that. I'm not going to tell you, here's how many days it's going to take. Here's how we're going to have to take breaks and we're going to have to do this. They don't care. I'm just going to sell them the payoff, which is I'm going to get you to the top of Everest. And then to give you certainty, I've taken hundreds of people to the top of Everest. And basically, here's the secret to getting to the top of Everest. Slow pace, proper nutrition, strategic rest. I'm making stuff up, right? I walk them through the 3 to 4 strategies, how I get people. Now they're like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He has a plan. It's not just a wish, right? When I wanted to get to $1 million a year, I didn't just wish it. I went and found someone that had done it. And I was like, help me get here, right? So you want that's all you're doing for your clients is I've gotten to Everest and I've gotten people to the top of Everest. And so I'm going to get you to the top of Everest. And here's the general 3 to 4, don't have more than that, but 3 to 4 things we're going to do to get you up there. That really raises certainty. And once they have more certainty that you can get them the payoff, they're pretty much ready to go. So people buy certainty. So sell them certainty with testimonials and your 3 to 4 phases or stages to get up there. And number 5, and this is, I think, is the most powerful of them all, is don't need the sale. Just don't need it. But Graham, I need the sale. Don't need it. You need to convince yourself till it's in your core that you don't need the sale. You do not need the sale. They need to buy more than you need them to buy because they have a problem. You don't have that problem. You already solved that problem for yourself a long time ago, and you solved it for other people. They have a problem. You are their best solution to that problem. So you're going to present that, hey, I can help you with this problem, whether it's through my course or your membership or your group coaching or your one-on-one coaching or your service. You can help solve this problem. They need it more than you do. And you would like to help them. Sure, you'd like the money, but you don't need the money because you know that the money will come. If you build your business the right way, if you do the things I teach here week in and week out, do the things I teach my clients, like you're going to build a beautiful business and you're going to be fine. You don't need them to buy. Someone else will buy. If it's not them, it's going to be somebody else. This is the most powerful thing because when you begin to believe this, and you may not believe it at first, but it's true. You don't need them. They need you. So you have to tell yourself, they don't need me. I mean, I don't need them. They need me. I don't need the sale. If they don't buy, someone else will buy. Once you start to really declare these things, because it's declaring it, it's you hearing yourself saying it that makes it go from an idea in your head to what you feel and believe in your heart to be true. This is why affirmations are powerful. It's the ability to like solidify the belief, right? In the book of James, he says that the tongue is the most powerful. It's the smallest but most powerful organ in the body. It's like the rudder, the tiny rudder on a ship. A rudder, it's tiny, but it can turn an entire cruise ship. It has the power to change the direction. The tongue, what you say, has the power to change the direction of your heart and your belief system. So we say out loud what we need to believe in our heart, so it gets from our head to our heart. And when you say this and say this and say this and you believe it, once you believe it, they perceive it because there's no pressure. I'm not like, oh, please buy today. If you buy today, I'm going to throw in this. What's it going to take to get you into this car? Like, I don't need you to buy, bro. Like, I don't like with my VIP day. I don't need your money. I am going to be fine if you don't buy my VIP day, which is awesome. I got money coming in every single day, whether I work or not. I don't need you to buy my VIP day. You need to buy my VIP day, right? If you are making between $50,000 and $150,000 a month, and you're kind of stuck there, you've got a great business, but you're like, how do I get to the next level? You need me, but I don't need you. I don't need your money because if you don't buy, someone else will. And when you project that, people sense that, and that's attractive. It's the whole deal of like when you were in middle school and you wanted that girl to like you, if she could tell that you really liked her, she wasn't interested. But if you were like, whatever, I don't need her, then she was like, ooh, I'm interested. We want what we can't have, right? I even do this with psychology in my high ticket offers, my group coaching program, like my inner circle, my VIP day. You can't even just buy it. You have to apply and qualify. And that's not even just lip service. That's real. Like I literally won't get on a call with you if you're not a right fit. Because again, I'm only going to sell something that will serve you. So if this won't serve you, like if you are not even making $50,000 consistently every month, I'm not going to sell you my VIP day. You're not ready for it. You're not at the level, the strategies, the way to think, like you're almost there, but you're not there yet. So part of it is like, I need to make sure it's a good fit so I can serve you because selling is serving. But number two, just by virtue of having an application, it shifts the language from like, oh, Graham's trying to get me to buy to like, oh, I hope he picks me. Like pick me. I hope he picks me. And that's what I want. I want my customers, potential customers, to feel like I'm picking them. They're not choosing me. I'm choosing them. I'm in the driver's seat. And you need to do the same thing for your clients and your customers. So the application is a more specific application, no pun intended, of a high ticket offer. But the idea is when you show up and you don't need the sale, when you don't have commission breath, as they say in sales, right? Where you don't need the commission, bro, it's so much more attractive. It's so much more attractive. And then if you've teed it up and you've sold something, you've sold the payoff and certainty, and you're serving them and you're only selling something you believe in and you know it's something they want to buy anyway, bro, I don't need it. It's all good. If it's a fit, it's a fit. If it's not, it's all good. You do these 5 things, 2 things are going to happen. 1, you're going to love selling. And then 2, you're going to sell more. And it's amazing on the don't need the sale. One last story there. I remember the first time, it's probably 3 or 4 years ago, I had this goal of I wanted to have a $50,000 offer. I'd never sold anything at $50,000. That was a really big deal for me. It was like a benchmark I wanted to get to. And I think the most I had sold was $15,000 a year mastermind, and I wanted to get to a $50,000 offer. And so I was on a call with a guy who was a worship leader at a massive church, a mega church, very famous church. And he had left the church, and he was more in getting into consulting and helping leaders. And he was an author and podcaster, and so he was building out his offers and really wanted to build sort of the digital coaching side of his business to help leaders in ministry and all kinds of people lead with integrity, and that was sort of his strength. And we connected at an event, and we just jumped on a call to get to know each other better. And so this wasn't even a sales call. Meanwhile, I had mapped out my $54,000 offer at the time, and it was going to be a one-on-one coaching offer. This is what I had in the past. And so we got on a call. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about connecting with him. We both have daughters. We both love Star Wars. We both been in ministry and worship leaders, and so we had a lot in common. We were just talking about life, and he was asking me what I was excited about in my life, and I was just talking about business. He's like, "Well, who are the kind of people you help?" And I told him who I helped. He said, "Man, that's really what I need. That's what I need help with. Is like, I actually don't have a lot of digital stuff built, but I want to go actually right to the high ticket stuff. I want to build one-on-one coaching, and I'm already doing consulting. I'm actually doing it." He's like, "I'm already getting invited by churches and pastors, and I'm going in and I'm doing consulting services, and they're paying me a lot of money. And I realized I got a lot of value, and I got to strategize and systematize this to make this legit." He's like, "Well, do you do coaching?" I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely." He's like, "Would you consider working with me?" And I said, "Maybe." And so I asked him some more questions, and then I really didn't want, not that I didn't want to work with him. I didn't want to pitch him. I didn't want to sell to him. He was like a new friend. I just felt like we're in friend territory. I don't want to make money, be part of it right now. So my head wasn't there, but he kept asking, like, he said, "Well, will you pitch me? Like, will you tell me, like, will you put together a proposal of what it would look like to work with you?" I said, "Sure, I'll send you an email." Because I already knew what his pain points were, or what he wanted to solve, and what his goals were for the next 12 months. So I sat down, and the next day I sent him a simple email, and I said, "It's $54,000. Would you like to pay up front or in a payment plan?" He emailed me back. He said, "Whoa, that's a lot more than I thought." I said, "Yeah, if it's not a good fit, don't worry about it." He said, "All right, yeah, I'm going to talk to my wife about it and pray about it." A week goes by, didn't hear about it or hear anything from him. And I assumed, like, he's not going to buy this thing. And I don't care. I didn't need him to buy. I wasn't trying to sell him. The next week, I get one line email. "Graham, I'm in. How can I pay you?" And I was like, "Bro, did I just sell a $54,000 offer for the first time?" Like, that was the most chill, nonchalant sale I've ever made. And all of my sales at the highest prices have been like that. And it's always surprised. Every time I've tried to, like, "Oh, I think you really get a lot of value out of this," and I slip back into the old Graham, like, "You really, I think you need this." And they do need it. It doesn't work. And when I'm just like, "Hey man, I don't need this, but you do," it's worked. And that just blew my mind. And since then I realized, there's way more you can charge if you focus on the payoff and you give people certainty. And especially if you can give people speed. I didn't even get time to talk about that today, but people pay for speed as well. Can you get me the results faster? So the price is never the issue. It's the payoff. It's the way you present it. It's the way you come across. And when you realize you're serving them, not convincing them, and that you don't even need the sale, but they need to buy, it changes the game. So you will only be great at selling when you decide to stop hating it or being afraid of it and learn to love it. And these 5 secrets will help you do that. Let me know which one of those selling secrets helped you the most or was an unlock for you the most. Leave a comment below on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, message me anytime on Instagram. Let me know which one of these secrets to selling was an unlock for you and the one you need to press into in your next webinar, sales call, or email exchange with a potential client that you thought was a friend that will buy a $50,000 offer from you and you didn't even think was possible. All right, my friend, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in another episode real soon.